Check.
For that situation, you are very, very, very correct.
Check, check, test. Is it working? Are we good to go? Are we
Check,
live?
check, check. For that scenario.
All right, here we go. Pros and Joes, Kent Chase Golf. We are here
Are we on the
once
air?
again.
I'm trying to get it so I can go live on mine too. So I think I need to seek professional help or you. So I'm going to go with you because you're smart. Weren't you like the smartest guy in school?
Nope.
One of the top 10?
I was part of the top 10%.
So you have an IQ that's like... So Jack Nicklaus said you either have to be seriously, amazingly high IQ or not that smart to play great golf. What do you think of that?
You know, that is a very interesting statement.
Right, he said it. He said it right on Arnold Palmer's Golf Channel when it was when
my son Zaid, you know Zaid,
Yep.
he used to do some stand-up comedy, and he did a bit about his sister and said you don't have to know very much to play golf.
Wow.
So, well, we got to go back to yours. Let's see, go back to your site and edit.
Well, we didn't even, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, podcast 28.
Podcast 28.
Yes, we just wasted how many minutes of our time, our valuable time. The audience has been waiting patiently.
Can we tell them what we talked about? Because of your intelligence, because of your IQ is so high?
No, they heard it all.
Did they hear all that?
They just heard all that.
Oh, no,
we've been live talking about nothing.
That was something.
It's kind of like this podcast. We talk a lot about this podcast. We talk about where golf and life intersect.
Oh yeah. Huh.
So there's been a lot of intersections. Hey, the PGA had their tournament at Black Desert. It was very enjoyable for me, being that I got to play there last year.
Yeah.
And very, very amazing golf course. It was one of the top courses for penalty strokes the previous year. I don't know how many they had this year, but one of the top courses I think it was the fourth most penalty strokes of any golf course that they played for the entire year last year.
Do you know why they don't play the Waste Management Phoenix Open at Desert Forest or Desert Mountain or Desert Highlands? Because there's penalty strokes. Because you make a mistake and it's called penal. You hit your ball in the desert and you're going to make a double bogey.
Well, it's worse at Black Desert because it's cut out of lava fields.
That's way worse. Yeah.
So it is. I actually put a clip of Black Desert, a couple of videos of the course. So it's grass and lava rocks. So if you miss the fairway, you're in lava rocks.
Wow.
And you cannot hit like some desert lies. You know, you can navigate between the cactus. You can navigate between the hard pan. If you're not right up against the rock,
you don't get against the boulders or underneath.
Correct. You can
prickly pears and the jumping cactus. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but lava
rocks are like these jagged, nasty. And if it's not marked as a hazard, like I don't even know how you take a drop. Like you drop it in the sharp, jagged stuff and wreck your club. I don't know. It's
your paycheck size is a stake, maybe. Otherwise, you got to re-tee it.
The only paycheck the only paycheck size I had at stake was our skins game that we were
Oh,
playing.
that's where they had the first one ever at Desert Highlands.
Do you think is playing skins with your buddies, Kent? I've wanted to ask you, being a Christian man, a servant of the Most High God, a follower of Christ, if you're playing a skins game with your buddies, is that gambling?
Is it recreational spending power, or is it money that you have to borrow to get involved in the competition? If you have a line item on your budget, on your annual budget
That
for
says
your,
gambling?
no, then that's gambling. But it might be, you could use that word, but I think there is something called recreational spending power in a in a budget, and it could be used on your vacation to Hawaii
Or your gambling habit?
but you only get X amount of dollars. I mean, it's part of your
Yes,
recreation.
it's a budgeted recreational fund.
But that's an opinion or a theory, and I've not found in the Bible to say anything for that or against
Well,
that.
listen, I just set you up. I'm not even going to touch that.
Well, no, you have a better. You're like. Deep,
I have no idea how.
But you're an ordained minister, so odds are strong. You know if that in your mind, or is that a conviction?
I went to the Penn State School of Engineering. I've never been to theology school, so I'm just going to say, you know what? If you're having fun with your buddies,
that's recreational spending power.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you.
But that could go off of so many cliffs. I don't think there's any way to crab our way out of that statement.
Well,
so
Lee Trevino
you heard it from
Trevino.
Kent Chase. They used to play when he played on tour. They had skins games that they would compete in for money and prizes. So
yeah, and there's always gambling or betting.
There's an entry fee
the day before,
right? There's an entry fee to play in a golf event. So that's how you're earning your paycheck.
But it's not very big when you're. It's different than entry fee into the corporate outing. It's a whole different world. But listen to Lee Trevino's idea on this thing he called gambling, betting, and he was the best at it. And you know the Raymond Floyd story, and nobody thought he'd beat Raymond Floyd for all that money, but he did.
No, I don't know. Tell me that story.
Raymond Floyd was already the star, and then some guy they were betting, the members were betting that this Mexican dude in El Paso could beat Raymond Floyd when he came to town. And Raymond Floyd came to town, true story, and somebody had to set up
a match.
His clubs on the car or whatever. Somebody had to clean his shoes. Somebody had to do all the work. And then Trevino was the guy Raymond Floyd was going to be playing against.
So
he was the shoe shine guy, the cart boy,
Lee Trevino was the bag attendant staging Raymond Floyd's clubs.
All of that.
He was polishing his shoes, and then he went out and played against him.
And he was the best player. Nobody ever would have believed that this guy could outplay anybody in the world, and was about to win the United States Open Championship when he got discovered 2 years later. He made it on the PGA Tour and was an immediate. It was an unknown, maybe the best unknown story ever. Him and Chichi Rodriguez are two. How did these people come from nowhere, unknowns to phenoms? And there isn't very many of those out there, but in another country somewhere, it might be in India, it might be in Guatemala, it might be in Africa. Somebody's coming along that's going to be, that we don't know, he's going to arrive as this phenom. And that's what Lee Trevino did.
One of my favorite Lee Trevino stories that he said, once he made it, once he arrived, he had a house in Beverly Hills.
Mm.
And so he's in the front yard with
mowing
his shirt off, mowing his lawn.
I love this story. Let's keep going. I love it.
And so a lady pulls up in her Cadillac and stops the car and said, "Sir, how much would you charge me to mow my lawn?" And he said, "Oh, I don't know. The woman inside this house lets me sleep with her."
Oh, they saw a Mexican laborer,
right? Because it was his house and his wife.
Wow!
But that's. I mean, Lee Trevino has some of the funniest stories, but that one takes the cake for me.
Well, yeah, but to finish the gambling one, he didn't have any money, and he's got a $5 bet against somebody, and he said that's the true meaning of pressure, playing against a great one of the players on the tour. And you don't have any money in your wallet, and then you got to beat the guy. It's an embarrassing thing.
I would say this too, gambling when you are predicting the outcome based off of your ability, that's different than a game of chance where you're
Yes.
just throwing dice or flipping cards or pulling the lever on a
100%.
slot machine. That's a lot different.
That's true
If I'm
gambling.
confident in my abilities, and like you said, I know that I have enough to pay this event or to play in the skins
Right?
game, that's different than people that are now if you're mortgaging your if you're taking your grocery money to play in the skins game and you're not a good player, that's probably a problem.
But then remember Seve Ballesteros, his story. He was the greatest player to ever come out of Europe, perhaps. One of the greatest Ryder
Spanish,
Cup players
yeah.
ever. One of the greatest major winners. One of the greatest players in the history of golf. His parents gambled their whole life savings on him making it, if you remember that story.
Well, they didn't
But they
they
didn't
didn't
gamble
make
it.
a
They
bet.
believed.
They didn't make a bet. They made an investment in
Investment.
him, right?
Exactly.
That's it. I think if you're taking money you can afford to lose and you're making an investment in yourself and your ability and you think that that that's not a game of that's not luck or chance involved if your own ability is getting it done. That's my personal opinion. That's not
Well, and that's what all
theological.
the people
That's
did that
not
endorse.
biblical.
When you endorse people on the tour, when you endorse players, Tiger Woods' endorsement value was crazy. So was Michael Jordan. A lot of some of the great stars in the history of sports, the endorsement value is crazy, and it's not gambling on them. But but Nike made a lot of money when Tiger committed to wearing Nike apparel, even though they paid him a lot of millions of dollars per year.
Or
Same with
even
Michael
more
Jordan.
Michael Jordan,
Yeah, they paid
right?
him. They gave him
Well, they gave
stock
him
in the a
they gave him
percentage.
pennies. They couldn't afford him.
Yeah,
They couldn't
because he was a
afford.
Reebok guy and he wanted more, and they
Well,
could not afford him.
He wasn't. He actually was going to go to Adidas.
Was it Adidas?
It was Adidas that he was like almost locked in, and his mom, who was a
His
godly
mom.
Christian woman, Dolores Jordan, she actually went to our church, Dream City, back in the day. Um,
I didn't
when
know
Pastor Tommy was, yes, yeah, a great God fearing woman.
that. Wow.
She had enough sense to get Michael to take the meeting, and
And guess
then
what?
and
And
now he's
Nike
a
was going
multi-billionaire.
under at the. They were struggling.
Yeah, they were not a basketball. Phil Knight was a runner, the founder of Nike. He was a runner, like a jogging, running, fitness. They didn't do a
All
lot
of a
with
sudden, the Air
sports
Jordans came about.
yeah, then the rest is history. So, speaking of basketball, I know this is a golf podcast, but did you see all 30 and gambling? We're talking about gambling and basketball. There were 30 players that were indicted. The coach of the Blazers, the coach, a player from the Miami Heat because of this gambling ring.
That's shocking.
They
to
were
me.
fixing game, not fixing games, but they were changing the outcome of the player based off of the players were I'm going to take myself out in the third quarter. So
Yeah,
if I
right.
normally average 15 points a game,
And you
people
need
would
them.
bet the under. They would bet, so I'm going to make sure I score less than that so we can all win money.
See, when that first started coming out, I was thinking more fake news. So now in the modern world, you start questioning everything, but that became real news. It's a real thing.
And they said they were doing card games, fixing card games with some kind of fluorescent ink, so they'd have glasses that could read. You knew when the other cards, and they said that the Las Cosa Nostra was the mafia is involved in this whole ring.
So what is this world coming to? Is true.
I don't know. So don't gamble because it's bad.
Unless you know who you are and what you're doing.
Don't gamble.
Mhm.
Don't get caught up in gambling. That's the bottom line. So.
So
All right, so let's segue back into golf.
So okay, golf. So
Do you think there's people are players allowed to gamble on themselves in golf? Is there a rule against that? Because
there's
Pete Rose was probably the main guy. Pete Rose was the he bet on baseball games, got banned from baseball, has the most hits in the history of baseball, but he bet on baseball games and got banned for life.
how much did he change what would have happened in those baseball games by betting on those games?
I don't think he ever bet against. He always bet for himself.
So my problem is, for one of the top 3 or 4 baseball players in the history of baseball, belongs in the Hall of Fame, and I don't understand that couldn't be forgiven because he didn't change the outcome of the games. Unless I'm lacking knowledge, that's why I was asking you, what am I missing here?
You know, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I don't know. Just don't cheat in golf.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's the great part about golf. I've never researched. I would assume you can't. I assume you can't bet on yourself in golf. It's got to be a rule.
You know,
That's got to be a rule, right?
I've never told this story, but I will.
Okay.
When
Ken Chase Original right here on Pros and Joe's Ken Chase Golf. The floor is yours.
Well, some crazy things happen when you're like overseas playing golf. So like on the Asian Tour, Larry Webb, I don't know how many people know that name, but I believe he's got a victory on the PGA Tour, but he won the Colorado State Open and the Arizona Open and many of the State Open championships. He was a phenomenon. Mini Tour, he'd be dominating. He would be one of the all-time greatest players ever that didn't get to be a Tiger Woods household name.
Larry Webb.
Larry Webb.
Okay.
Larry Webb, maybe 300 pounds.
He was a big guy. Was he
Big.
tall?
Super huge, maybe 6 feet. So
Okay.
he was very, very large. And I don't want to use the word fat, but he was a big man.
He was swole.
Yeah. And my gosh.
Big boned. We'll call him a big boned man.
Okay, so I'm going to give you some vision here. So I'm really small compared to the average
Human being.
Well, the average guy that gets to play golf for a living.
Yeah, I get it.
There's
I
a
get it.
Chichi Rodriguez and a me and a Fred
Hey, I'm
Funk
5'7".
and a
I
Jeff
love.
Sluman
I'm with you, Kent.
and Corey Pavin. There's some people that aren't big that can flat golf their ball. The uniqueness about me is I was little but really big hands. I mean, I can palm a
Yeah.
basketball.
Hold your hand up.
Yeah. I
See,
mean,
look at that. Now hold it up to the camera so they can like Kent's got big hands. You've got
well, but there's a reason I'm saying
disproportionately large hands. Yes, go ahead.
Viking. It's I ain't no white dude. I'm a Viking. So listen to this.
Viking.
So,
Minnesota
but
Viking.
I could go like this with the basketball. Boom, bam, boom, bam. Okay, so here's the story though. This is important because I'm the same height and appear to be the same size as the Asian, the people from the Chinese or the
Japanese,
Koreans or the Japanese
yeah.
or Taiwanese or you pick the Indonesians. Pick a country over there. I'm their height.
You're average. You're normal.
I fit
you're
right
taller.
in.
Yeah,
Except they can tell because I don't have black hair, but I'm the same height. But big hands and strong, and I can bomb it. And I was a gymnast, and I could hit it really far. And they're nice and straight. They don't hit it far, but I do. So it was different. Okay, so when you show up there, and I got Larry Webb, 300 pounds, and me, maybe 140.
Not half.
Maybe
You're like
half.
mini-me. You're half the man of Larry Webb.
And this is all about the gambling thing. We would take anybody on best ball because they saw some big, huge dude and some little dude, and we're ready to bet anybody, anything, anytime, anywhere. And they didn't know we could flat golf our ball.
Oh, so they thought you can't hit it because you're small. He's big and out of shape, so he can't be a golfer, right?
And he can't beat us. We're gonna light it up with a.
So what's the most you ever played for?
Oh, I don't know. We were playing for hundreds back in the day. But
Hundreds?
that's back in the hundreds, like a couple $100. But then you
Oh,
can
that's
double.
when a couple hundred was worth like today, like $1 million with the exchange rate and all those years.
We play for a lot.
Inflation.
And there's some, and it gets kind of scary when you're betting like that. And Raymond Floyd was like that too. But let's just say you're betting that money, but we already feel good that we have faith.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah, it wasn't
who we
really-
are, but they don't.
Did anyone ever beat you?
I don't remember getting beat in those things.
In those,
But
in
that's
those
gambling.
events.
So I'm talking about when you play golf for a living, do you gamble a little bit? Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? I mean, pretty much practice back in the day. So.
Look,
I mean,
I've
Phil
been a
Mickelson
member.
play money games.
I've been a member of a country club for 10 years, and people gamble on the golf games. I mean, we play a weekly men's game.
Are they sinning as they're within their budgets?
We already tabled that one, Kent. That
Okay.
we buried that. That one's dead and buried. We're
Yeah, just
not.
gotta verify. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not. You
Is it a
brought it back
conviction
up.
thing, or is it? I'm kidding. This is good. No, this is really good because it inspires people to play their best when something's at stake. So that's why professionals do it. Because if it matters a little bit more, because some pros, not in the modern world, it's a little different than what I'm going to speak. But back in the day, some people needed a little incentive to have a greater desire to go out there and perform. So if something's on the line, you tune in a little better, and thus your practice rounds are more valuable to what you're going to bring to the tournament. So what
Well, those guys
happens?
play now. I see the stakes like Mickelson and
Oh, it's
some of these guys
crazy.
play for in their practice
It's
rounds.
real money. That's
Like
what I'm saying.
it's
More than the
like
hundreds. It's in the
it's like
thousands.
new car money,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
But it doesn't hurt when you're worth billions. What does it matter? That's the thing. So they need to make it matter. That's what's crazy. To make
Yeah.
it matter, it's got to be. That's what's kind of hard to
Not
understand unless you're the guy that has all the
yeah,
money.
yeah, not just make it matter, but it they're playing for money as it is. There's a lot of pressure. And it's like we were talking the other day and you asked me if I'm always grinding. And I said
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
I'm not always grinding. I'm not. There are times when I'm just enjoying the day and the fellowship. But yeah, you put a $5 Nassau on it, that's a whole different
And I think
world.
that's what they should do to make sure nobody's kind of sneaking a little higher handicap. I'm relaxing today. How come all your scores are? It's like practice rounds. How do people end up with these great low scores on practice rounds, and then the real thing is, wait, what happened?
Because they didn't put any money on their practice round.
Is that what it is?
Well, if there'd have been pressure.
Maybe some people can't handle pressure. Now Tiger would be the opposite.
Yeah,
He,
some people under pressure, they fold up like a cheap lawn chair,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And some people under pressure, their focus goes from that to that, laser focus, because of the pressure. I always feel like I'm more like that. And I always wanted to be the guy to make the last putt. If we were playing basketball, I wanted to take the last shot. Even though many times I probably wasn't the best shooter on the team, but I just
But
believe
you had a
in
better
me. I
chance
just
right
believe in
then.
me. And that, not to be arrogant, but if it comes down to winning or
Some
losing,
other guy's going to blow it, and you're going to make it.
I just don't trust anyone else.
Wow, like Larry Bird.
And I'd rather take the pressure.
Is
So
that being a team player?
there's no I in team, but you've told me there's an I in victory.
That's what Larry Bird. I love Larry Bird and Jordan and Michael Jordan, because the truth is, the coach needs the team to play their best. So they all need to be a very important part of the team. But there's that one outstanding Tom Brady, man. If you don't got him quarterbacking you, or if you don't have a Larry Fitzgerald receiving the ball, and
Yeah.
if you don't have, if you don't, you got that. But if you got to give. You got to give Larry Bird the ball. You got to give him the ball, and he's got to let him take over the game. So
Yeah, and there's some days like you just golf's a hard game. There's some days where you don't have it, or maybe you have it, maybe you're just playing pretty good, but the other guy's on fire in the zone. I mean, you know, if you've played enough golf, and hopefully our audience can relate. There's been days you're a good putter, I'm a good putter, but I've gone out on the golf course and I think the hole's bigger than a basketball goal. Like I feel like I can't miss a putt. Like even if I wanted to. Now it's probably only happened a handful of times when I'm playing, but you go out there and you have like 19 or 20 putts for 18 holes. That's a great day of
were you
putting.
hitting all the greens in regulation too, or were you up and downing it?
No, up and downing it, but still, you're making everything. Like it doesn't matter how far you are. I call it like Spidey vision. Like some days I'm on the golf course and it's almost like I can see a line. Like I can visually see a line in the grass of where the ball's going to go. Like I visualize that line and I know it's going in. I don't know if
So here's what happens when you're playing golf for a living. That happens, and it becomes. Let's think about Tiger Woods. He didn't just get lucky. If you look at his career and all these putts that went in year after year after day after day after week after week after tournament, just crazy. Who in the world could make that many putts? That you just can't do that. But he already saw him going in, and then he saw the next one going in. He saw the vision you're saying you had 5 or 6 times.
That's every week.
Yeah. He saw it before it went in. And I know I've been in that zone many times where for quite a few weeks in a row, I already know everything's going in. And it's a great thing. Get me in the U.S. Open now, quick. My gosh, how come? Oh, darn, it's not for a month or two. But what happens if it gets better than knowing who you are and knowing what you're doing. You're seeing the shot, you're visualizing it without even thinking you're visualizing, but you catch the vision, you see it happen, and then it goes where you saw. And then it's even hitting golf shots, and you're knocking the flag down all day because you see it happen, you picture it, you vision it, and then you let your swing do the thing to get it to do what you already saw. It's a crazy world. And that's when I said Larry Bird, that's what he saw when he's making these things, when he's falling out of bounds for 3-point lines.
And telling the guys, they said Larry Bird was the biggest trash talker in the history of basketball. Like he'd be coming down the court and say, all right, I'm going to fake left, fake right, spin around, and shoot it off the bank board.
From that spot.
The backboard, from right over here. And then he'd do it. And the guys are like, he'd tell him exactly what he's going to do, and then he'd do it, and they're like, I don't even know what to do with this guy.
But, I mean, he saw it before he shot it. He already saw it.
Yeah.
And it just fell into what he saw.
And that's it. And you get in these zones like remember Jordan Spieth's putting zone? He had like a 3-year run where
oh my gosh,
where like I don't know if we'll ever see. I mean, Tiger had his run, but that putting run of Jordan Spieth when he was winning his majors, that was one of the most incredible strokes gained putting runs in the history of professional golf.
And it was shocking when it went away. Where'd he go? What happened to him? You know, I'm saying. But when he was
people,
in that
that's
zone,
what people feel like. Oh, he's going to do that. That's
when you said it's a hard game. It's a hard game, and you know what? When he was having that 3-year run, when he missed greens, he was chipping things in, holding out bunker shot. Everything was going to go in.
Not just putting. His short game, strokes gained with short game, chipping and putting. I don't know if we could ever see that again. It was
probably not.
And the problem is he set such a high standard. Now everyone's expectation is, what's wrong with Jordan Spieth?
Yeah.
Well, right? It's like Scotty Scheffler right now. He's playing at a level no one's heard of since Tiger Woods.
100% agree.
But Tiger Woods did it for like 10 or 11 straight years.
Scotty's done it. Without the injuries, he would have continued on more years.
Scotty's done it for a few, and the girls.
Well,
we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that.
I know the problem.
Yeah. So,
but to see what Tiger did week after week, month after month, year after year, because most people on the tour win most of their money within a 3 or 4 week period of time. They're hot for a week they're hot for a few weeks.
Right.
And then where'd they go? And then each year they're hot for
a minute.
Yeah. And then where'd they go? And then and Tiger just was that guy, the hot guy every single week
for a decade.
Wow, that's crazy awesome.
For a decade.
That's why I say.
And he changed his swing 3 or 4 times.
And he kept
because he was bored.
Teachers. Well, Gary Player got really mad.
Oh, I saw that. He's like he would have won 22, 23 majors
if he didn't keep switching teachers. He should have stuck with Butch Harmon. But in my opinion is the same. And same with Nick Faldo. He was on top of the world, and he still wanted to see if he could get better yet. And pretty soon, these new opinions and theories didn't work out so well. So why do you, at some point, if you've arrived and you're dominating the world of golf and winning majors by 10 or 12 or whatever it was, more than one major, how in the world would you want to try to fix something?
So at what point would you say, as an expert, master, instructor of golf, lifetime PGA, Southwest Section Teacher of the Year, Kent Chase, the great, amazing.
Oh, wow. Thank you. You don't have to do all that.
No, it's true. I'm just telling the facts because sometimes we have new audiences that don't know. So at what point would you tell me, a Joe, Brendon Zastrow, you're good, you don't need any more lessons? Like Tiger Woods probably didn't need any more lessons.
Here's the thing. He didn't need any more swing lessons. They needed to stay on top of where he was. But let's see if we can exploit for you. You're claiming to be a 7 or 8 handicap.
No, I'm pushing 11. I'm just under 11.
You're weak somewhere. You and me are going to go and we're going to do some skills.
But I'm going to the gym, so
yeah,
I'm not
so
weak.
You're getting stronger, but I don't feel that your distance is any problem. You're hitting the ball plenty far to score better than a 7. What'd you call yourself? 11?
I'm just under.
See, you're way better than that. So that means you've got some weak points. And I'm not out to just keep seeing if you can swing better. At some point, I'm going to live with what you're doing because your ball striking is really good. I mean, you're better than probably
it's getting better.
Half the people that play in the tour miss as many fairways as you miss. They might hit it closer to the hole.
They hit it way farther.
But they do hit it way farther.
They hit it way farther.
Okay, but more importantly than that, I think
if I could just play the red tees, I could probably be a scratch golfer.
We got to exploit your weak points.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's not.
I need to put more time into it. That's
golf. Time. Let's find out by doing skill assessments in all the different whether it's downhill
instead
bunker,
of doing these
bunkers,
podcasts, I should just be hitting balls.
Flop shots, up and downs from here, up and downs from there. I want to see if I could find for me to just say, let me see if I can get you to hit it 10 yards further. We could work on that for a couple months and do drills and all kinds of things. But more importantly, I got to find out, be with you, watch you play. What is making it so you shoot in the 80s when you're way back? When you can shoot in the low 70s. So then what's making you not? So we got to figure out where those round altering, something's going on that's not allowing you to play to your potential. That's what I'm trying to say.
Last time I played, I found out that some of those Max Flies, I had a sleeve of Max Flies, Max Fly Tours, great ball. I had a sleeve of them that were magnetic. Have you ever heard of that?
Magnetic ball.
Max Fly Tours
were out of bounds?
They were magnetic. They were water magnetic, tree magnetic, cart path magnetic. For some reason, I got one sleeve of those balls, and until I got rid of them.
Was it at a tough course?
No.
Moon Valley Country, Palmbrook. It found the water and OB in trouble.
No OB.
No OB.
But some trees, some cart paths, some water.
So it was the equipment, not the player.
It was the balls.
The ball was equipment.
When you get. So here's what I discovered. I think the Max Fly Tours, when you take it fresh out of the sleeve, they're water magnetic. Take a new ball out of the sleeve, they're attracted to water. You should never use a new ball fresh out of the sleeve. So new balls out of the sleeve are water magnetic, maybe even tree magnetic.
So I'm not buying into the ball problem theory, the ball quality issue. I believe there was something going on, and mentally maybe that you saw the problems. Did you?
Actually, it's not the balls were great. The problem really for me was a lack of fitness. I stood on the Sun City Country Club range on Friday, and I was doing 3-wood testing for the Joes. I'm about to publish this week a lot of 3-wood testing. I tested the top four 3-woods, the 440 LST Ping, the QI35 Tour, the Callaway Elite Titanium, and the Titleist GT3. So I had 4 3-woods out there.
Did you draw any conclusions?
I did.
But you wore yourself out, and that's why you hit bad shots.
I hit 2 buckets of balls swinging pretty hard. And I was, not that hitting 2 buckets of balls should be a big deal, but with overseed, I'm not really in golf shape because I haven't been making a lot of swings. And so when I got there, I was taking some leave, and my back was stiff. And again, I'm not making excuses, but
well, it helps
when you get on the back 9 and everything's tight, and you're, I hit.
No, it's helping me understand your problems better.
Right.
Yeah. The higher score.
I don't think coaching's going to fix that. Coaching isn't going to fix.
Why you had those round altering wreck your whole day golf shots.
Yeah, you set up to hit a little draw and you block it into the.
What's worse than a planned draw that curves the other way? Wow.
It didn't curve. It just went straight the other way. The block. Never.
So draws curve left, and then no matter how your muscles feel. So how can we figure that one out?
Good question. I wanted to ask you this. You just reminded me of an important question that I and the fans want to know.
Okay.
Okay, so Kent Chase, you have a method of teaching how to grip the club, and one of the tools you say is if I pick up a bucket of range balls full with and I want to carry it 10 miles, how would I grip that?
With your right
Naturally,
hand.
with my right hand, right? And then
Pound a nail with your left.
nail with your left hand. Okay? So if I want to guarantee that a ball's going to draw, is there ever a chance that that bucket I'm going to carry 5 miles neutral, however I pick up that bucket, is there ever a time when I might want to strengthen that thing so it returns to neutral to make sure that I'm hooding it down and hitting it?
If you're a hopeless situation, go ahead and motorcycle grip it. That will help your case.
Saying,
no, that'll help the case.
Motorcycle grip, is that what it's called?
But
super strong.
Well, if you strengthen, it shuts the face for you.
Yeah.
But you don't know how many degrees. But you could ensure that your hook's going to curve left that way, or you could set your club face at the target and aim your feet more right and overdo the club face closed and overdo the feet right and
do both.
Overdo the
and
equation.
Then you can hit snap hooks.
And then make sure your club face arrives there at impact and it will hook. But there's lots of ways to hit hooks. I mean there's fun ways to do it, and there's ways that give you a really cool look, but they're all during swing ways to do manipulations on the way through.
Sure.
So the best way is to just decrease the manipulations and preset everything the way it's going to be at impact. Club face already shut the amount you want it shut to the planned path. Aim where you want the planned path to be. Aim where you want the ball to start, and aim the club face where you want it to end up. And if you could arrive at that equation, that's the same as setting up aiming straight, club face square, and it's going to go straight. So we set it all up at address, but we make sure it returns there at impact.
Agreed.
People fear it returning there at impact because they don't like the way it looks. So they do that, or you could have needed more relief, or whatever the reasons are.
Right. But if you, because clearly I started my club down its path because I blocked it. You
didn't block it. You swung straight.
I swung straight at my path, right? But
the block is hanging on to it. You didn't hang on.
The result was a block, right? So, but I never got it square. So my question was, if I want to make sure that thing's slinging
just make
close,
the club face uglier at address would be the easiest way. Or if you want to play with your grip, you could try that. But then there's varying degrees of how strong to get varying degrees of how much it's going to be shut.
Agreed. So
which makes it way more difficult.
So you never monkey with your grip?
I can. If I'm scared, I might do such a thing. But I'm not scared anymore.
If you're using water magnetic golf balls.
Well, here's the thing. Never start your ball over penalty strokes unless you're forced. So why were you starting a ball at the lake, making it?
I wasn't starting at the lake.
No, you said.
No, I was starting it right to draw at the pin.
Where is the lake, right?
The lake.
Why are you starting your ball on the right side when the trouble's on the right?
I was starting at the right side of the green, and 15 yards right of the green was a lake.
Well, it's danger. You're messing with danger starting.
Well, because I thought it'd be bad if I started left and cut it at the water, and then I overcut it.
Never. Here's the key, and it's wisdom. And never start your ball over penalty strokes.
I didn't start.
Work it towards them because it'll never reach the penalty strokes. Don't risk starting it.
Really? Work it at the penalty stroke.
Work it towards because it will never get there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Never start it. I mean, sometimes you're forced because you got a tree in your way and you got to curve it around the tree, and that's your only option.
Really?
Direction.
So like Moon Valley number 9, I don't ever want to start it at the water and cut it off of it. I want to start it right and hook it back towards it.
Wisdom says that, and you can ask Johnny Miller. But
I don't know.
But sometimes on that shot, the cut's good and way better than the draw because it doesn't go as far. So you're not risking going in that lake because it can't. That's a lake that's reachable only with a draw on number 9 at Moon Valley. You can't. I don't think your cut will reach the lake. So your cut's going to slide over to the corner over there.
Oh yeah, I can cut that thing into the lake in the summer.
Then you got to start it over the house, over the maintenance facility.
No, not that much. Just at the edge and cut it in. All right.
No, but if the lake's far enough away.
Any questions you have for the Joes? We're about time to wrap this thing up.
Well, the thing that's we should clarify one day because we always joke around about this
Everything.
thing about swing hard in case you hit the sweet spot. That way, maybe it'll go far. It is actually true that Bryson and Tiger and even Scotty Scheffler, when he's dancing through impact sometimes, and Phil, they do swing hard, but it's not in case they use the sweet spot. They know they're going to use the sweet spot. So the key is understanding how to apply power at the point in time how to put power where power belongs. And maybe that could be another thing we can talk about on the next podcast, because it is important in the modern world to hit the ball far, because the golf courses are really, really long. So I kind of want to spend some time on that topic at some point.
And I'm going to start speed training again. I took some time off. I was getting some wrist pains. Some of that turned into a grandpa.
You're getting older
You get
now.
to be a grandpa, and joints and stuff, and my knuckles were, I was just getting some stiffness. So
What
I
happens?
took a little time off.
Oh, you took time off.
I took time off speed training.
Because of joint problems.
I didn't want there to be long-lasting joint problems. I was just getting some.
So how old are you compared to like BJ Singh, who's spending 1,000 balls a day still? What, in other words, what's different?
Does he
You
do
work
speed
for it.
training?
Well, he does everything he can to stay on top of his game, and he still hits it really far.
I don't know.
And by the way, that's coming up.
But I've never hit it that far. Yes. So next week, so I called my buddy. I got the head pro.
Charles Schwab, Phoenix Country Club.
So the head pro at Palmbrook, Josh Gold. You've met him.
I've
He's
met him.
the general manager, head pro. I invited him to come on. So Josh, you got to come on next week. Next Monday, we're going to do the senior championship, the senior tour
And Cassidy,
championship.
my daughter's highly involved in it year after year after year. So maybe
Let's go.
Maybe
Let's do a live.
yeah.
Let's go and do some live recording. Anyway, Josh Gold. So I actually intermittently ran into him he was in that qualifier when I caddied for Tyler for the waste management. Him and Tyler were playing in the same group.
Oh.
And so so Josh is a good player, and he so if you look at him online, he's got a beef with Bernhard Langer.
Why?
Because of the way he cheats and anchors his putter.
So he thinks he's touching.
Oh, you can see it. You can see it. He's got video evidence. And anyway, so.
Well, Bernhard will be there, and we're going to talk to Bernhard. And I played
know
with
Bernhard?
Bernhard, yes, sir. And he is a great man. He's a great Christian man. And so if he is truly cheating, I'm going to be shocked, because he tries his best to be.
Well, so next week, Josh will probably bring that up. We can talk
have
about it.
And I love Bernhard Langer, and he's a beautiful man.
I don't know him.
Oh,
I just
my
know
gosh.
I can see creases in his shirt when this hand's here. You can see his shirt creased, which I don't know. Allegedly.
Is that anything
I'm
like
never gonna-
Patrick Reed brushing sand off his backswing like that, or is that the scene because the blimp caught it?
Well, I don't know.
The blimp got him.
Hey, we're just gonna have to go with, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Oh my gosh.
Pros and Joes, Kent Chase Golf. Spread the word, comment, share, tell people about us, follow our social media. Kent Chase Golf on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Pros and Joes Golf on all those same channels.
It's follow, share, and what's the other one?
Like,
Follow, share.
follow, and some are called subscribe.
Because the idea is we're raising money for the causes that we represent. That's the whole thing, and that's why we're putting it out there. And
and the reality is if you follow us, if you like, we're doing this as this is a hobby for me, obviously, and this costs us our time and money, and we're not charging anybody. This is free, and we want this to continue to be free, and so just spread the word, and we appreciate it. So, Pros and Joes, Kent Chase Golf. We'll see you next week.
Brendon Zastrow.
Thank you, Kent Chase.
Thanks for the memories.
Man, those are big hands. Woo!
And strong.